Hi, I'm Alexis, and this is a quick run-through of the boss mechanics on normal and heroic difficulty for Cauldron of Carnage, one of the bosses in Liberation of Undermine, the raid released in Season 2 of The War Within. Before we start, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. It'll help my channel grow and I'll be able to put out more content more often. There are two main bosses in this fight, a giant dinosaur named Flarendo the Furious and a giant gorilla, the Tempest. The raid needs to be split into two teams, with each team taking on one boss, then switching sides during the intermission phase. Tanks make sure to keep the bosses to the sides to avoid overextending their abilities to the other half of the raid and cause a whole mess. Let's start with Flarendo. When starting the fight on Flarendo's side, the boss places a debuff on all players, inflicting ticking damage every second for 10 seconds, and this effect stacks. A job for the healers to keep everyone topped up. Scrap Bomb. A player gets targeted with a bomb that explodes after 10 seconds. Players need to enter the circle to split the damage evenly. If not, everyone gets a massive AoE damage blow and gets knocked back. If you survive the explosion, that is. On Heroic, the Scrap Bomb leaves behind a molten pool, so players should stack while fighting the boss to aim the Scrap Bomb abilities to the sides and avoid filling the whole area with molten lava. Blast Burn Roar Cannon. A random player is targeted with a boss frontal, which then locks in place before firing away. Aim this away from players and run out when the beam locks in place, because anyone standing in the beam gets one shot. Also be mindful of the other half of the raid and don't aim it towards them, they have enough abilities to deal with already. Eruption Stomp is the tank mechanic. The boss stomps, triggering an eruption beneath the targeted player, inflicting damage and launching them into the air and sending out fiery waves in multiple directions. Avoid getting hit. On Heroic, random players are targeted with this large fiery circle, which causes AoE damage to any players in the circle. So players with the circle move away and everyone else run out. While half of the raid is handling Flarendo, the other half is dealing with Torque. Just like Flarendo, players fighting on Torque's side will get a debuff, which does ticking nature damage and this effect stacks. Healers, stay on your toes. Players in range of Torque can see that they have this static charge meter on their screen. Moving increases the static charge, and when full it stuns the player for 6 seconds. So try not to move around so much and keep the meter as low as possible. Thunderdrum Salvo. The boss fires missiles at all the players for 6 seconds. Move out of these electric circles to avoid getting damaged, but keep an eye on the static charge meter and try not to run around too much. Random players also get this large electric circle. Other players move out. Lightning Bash is the tank mechanic. The target gets smashed with physical damage, and 100% of unmitigated damage is returned back as nature damage, so be sure to use a defensive. On Heroic, Torque summons images of himself which fixate on random players for 12 seconds, which explode and cause damage to players close by if they come into contact with any player, and leave a patch of lingering electricity on the ground which causes damage when standing in it. So stay out of their way and defeat them fast. Upon reaching 100 energy, Flarendo and Torque clash in the middle of the arena for 20 seconds. Torque will shoot down lightning, whilst Flarendo shoots out fiery waves. Avoid getting hit by these abilities. Both bosses have their damage taken reduced by 99% during this phase, so this is the time for players to switch sides to drop off the stacked debuffs each boss has given you when fighting on their sides. Both bosses need to be defeated at roughly the same time, because the last boss standing will become King of Carnage, having its damage increased by 50% every 5 seconds and increasing the range of some of its abilities, and we don't want that. So keep an eye on their health to defeat them together. And that's how you defeat Cauldron of Carnage. I hope you found this video useful. Give it a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to check out my other guides. Good luck on your raid adventures, and thank you for watching.